What if you were to combine massive scale Total War battles with an incremental game? Well, you get this. Now, obviously, in classic fashion, you start with a single soldier. And here we are fighting this little gobbo. Now, at the end of it, by completing that level, we get to increase our army size. So I can get 2 more soldiers. And with a little bit of gold, I can level them up to make them more powerful. So right now, they have an attack value of 30 and health of 120. But if we spend a little bit of gold, it goes up marginally, incrementally. Now, when we move on to the next stage, we can do something kind of interesting. Once our army gets bigger, we can change their positioning. We just won stage 2, we can get 2 more soldiers, and we don't have enough gold to level them up. But once this army group is big enough, it'll form a cohort, a battalion, a platoon, and we'll be able to create multiple units. Now, at this point, we can basically just turn it to auto battler, so it will automatically restart. Now, the enemy is basically double my size, so we need to make some changes here. After doubling our force, our power value is a little bit more than theirs, and we can go into this next battle trusting that we're probably going to come out the victors. Now, once I beat stage 10, I get to unlock a new type of a soldier, and it looks like it's an archer. So we're going to turn back on auto battler and just make it a point to fill out our forces whenever we can. Now, even if you can't beat that stage, you can still acquire currency. And you'll notice that though you can purchase units in the middle of a battle, they'll basically be in ethereal or sort of like spirit form. They won't come in until after that skirmish finishes. Now we're going to turn off auto battler here because our army size, we can basically increase it by 50%. And we have the money to increase its power considerably. So already, I believe our troops are hitting almost twice as hard as they used to be. Now this is the kind of fun point. We can move this force and we can combine them into that. What if I did that? Okay, it's saying you can't do that. But if I wanted to flank on the top while they flank on the south, we could do that. Or I could move them a little bit more. This is sort of where the total battle or Total War style, like, you know, set up your forces in different formations plays into this. So once again, we can increase our forces, and we're basically like double the power. We're pretty close to doubling the power of this little goblin force. But as this is an incremental game, it sort of starts a little bit slow, you could say, and then quickly ramps up. Now I want to see if I don't use any army size upgrade, if we have the power just by spending the gold to level up our troops, if that's enough. I kind of want to save a lot of troops to see if I can't get a sizable portion of archers. Now, we've beaten stage 10, and this is maybe the first power creep moment in the game. At least, hopefully. That being said, the enemy force has 15.8 thousand. So I think what we want to do is get at least 10 archers, put them in the back, and reposition them. And I'm thinking I might put them like sort of like in the middle, but a little bit back. This reminds me a little bit of like Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, and like how I'd like archers near the front lines, but not close enough to where they would melee, but where they could start shooting right off the bat. So let's see if this strategy works. And we're gonna get 10 more troops. All right, so is the inner general inside of me smart? Well, the power meter is saying that we have less power than them. So I think what's going to happen is these gobbos are just going to absolutely eat up our infantry units. We won the southern flank, and that force looks like it's going to chew up my archers. And I think we're going to lose this one, although it is going to be relatively close. Now, did that archer do just enough, and are our knights strong enough to 1v1 these gobbos? The answer is almost, but not quite. So we're going to spend up the money and level up both the archers and the knights. But look at how much I've already got these archers up to level 6. So right now, if we restart, our power is about almost 2,000 more than the enemy force here. So this is a demo, and I think it's sort of just like a tech demo to say, hey, look, we've made a incremental Total War game. Like, that's literally the pitch. And it's a very fascinating type of a game, I think, because I like Total War and I like incremental games. So combining the two, it naturally caught my attention. Now, we beat stage 12, but we didn't get to increase the army size. So the only thing that's going to get us more power here is spending gold to level up our troops. Now, we've only got 73 gold, 18.9. That's just enough. Now, you can hide the menu, but it's just a big old black box, the emptiness. So there's no real reason to do that. Now, there's also this stuff. So there's basic management. Once we beat stage 25, we unlock another level of authority. And in terms of army composition, we need to get past level 50, of which we're only at level 13. And then there's a world thing, but we can't see that right now. I think there might be like regions that you can fight over, but this is all wanton speculation at this point. And if you leave it on auto battler, you will continue generating gold, but if you're losing, well, you're not progressing past the stages. So I think what we're gonna do is wait to save up another, get up to 116 coins and level up our knights to, say, level 12 in hopes that that's enough to get us through stage 13. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Nine Kings or those other sort of like auto battlers where you have giant armies. The only difference here is that in those games there was a lot more variety in the battles, and this is seemingly more like incremental in scale focus as opposed to like, obviously it's not a roguelite. And we are just not getting near enough money. That being said, I think we have enough power. No, we don't. We do not have enough power. We can get 15 more troops. Now, one of the things that I would change here, just a little bit of feedback, is have a max button so that I don't have to do like a 10 and then 5 ones. I could just max out and get the 15. Otherwise, you're going to be in these awkward numbers where you have to like spend a lot more time picking out troops than you otherwise would have. So what we want to do here is change our formation because these knights aren't even getting into the fight until much later because of just where they spawn and the fact that we didn't get to upgrade them at all. Now we've got a lot more knights on the ground. We'll move on to the next stage here, move that force a little bit back and see if we can't fit these guys right in there. Excellent. So now the front line is strong on the left, the right, and the center, and it's backed up by a staunch line of archers. Yeah, already I'm like, man, this is gonna be a little bit of a grind until I can unlock this third unit. So we'll turn it back on auto battler. And the enemy's 32,000. This is one of the issues that we sort of experienced in developing Hydra Heli 2, was getting that right amount of like, I'm feeling powerful and this isn't too much of a grind. I think right now, it does feel like a little bit of a grind. Come on, archers, you gotta kill these last 2 goblins. There's only one left. We actually won despite the fact that the power was not in our favor. But it takes a while. It's seemingly taking a while to get past through each stage. So we're going to hide the details of our troops just so they line up and we can just like figure out what we want to do. I can't purchase any more units. I mean, it just seems like we have to upgrade the power of the knights because of how many we have there. There might not be enough importance on strategic placement, I don't think. It does seem to be whichever is the higher power wins as opposed to like tactfully setting up. We did have a close battle, and actually, I hope I have to eat my words here because it looks like this one might go in our favor. No, that's too many goblins. And these guys are not leveled up. But we can level up our knights again. And now we should have enough power to beat the goblins. This is showing the true potential of this type of a game. Although I am kind of curious, by calling it Total Incremental War, I really worry if like Sega and Creative Assembly might not be like, hey buddy, you're basically using our brand power here. And we don't like that. Now I just purchased a lot more archers, so let's go ahead and upgrade them, and we're gonna have to reposition them. I wonder what happens if you like put units that overlap each other, but then you keep filling them out. Like, can you place them there? Whereas you otherwise wouldn't be able to do that. Now we have a pretty solid power advantage right here by almost 5 entire thousand. That being said, the power bars right here don't look that strong. So with 100, let's see, man. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready for the next unit. And it's like, brother, you got 30 levels left till you can get it. Now there's also structures, and I'm not sure if they're just like not in the game right now. But I guess the next moment that would be worth your attention would be once we get beating stage 25. This is gonna be a lot of just same old, same old. So one notable thing is that I've basically doubled my archers. My archers and my knights are about the same value in numbers. And I think what we need to do is turn off auto battler here because we're almost to stage 25, but look at that. They've got like 4,000 more. So I think what we could do is have archers on the flanks. I really, really want to see, well, one, I want to see what happens when I unlock stage 25. But like, does formation really matter? Because I'm hoping the answer is yes. That's just way too many goblins just now running amok in our ranged infantry lines here. I mean, there's a chance we could pull it out. Okay, yeah, we definitely won the southern flank, so we're going to for sure win this one. Which means authority, ordering units. Okay. how do you order units? Now we've got the total accurate, like the Total War aspect of this. Now, what's kind of cool, and I really, really like this, is we have an army reset available. So, like, would I want to change my force? I don't know if I want to do that just yet. We don't know what we don't know. All right, so now this is some really interesting commands. So I can do this, but what if I wanted to reset that? Okay, I just right-click. So, all right, I mean, this is a pretty just attack those guys, attack move style. We've got 1.4 thousand. I would rather see if I couldn't upgrade my archers twice. I was only able to do it once. So there's a sizable power difference. And I fear, my worry here in this game is that the tactical choices here aren't going to matter too much until I get cavalry. Like in terms of like setting maneuvers, because I could flank behind as opposed to run into their front line. But I'm not going to be able to get that for 24 levels. And this can be a little bit of a slog. I want to make my point, my personal opinion on this game, very clear. I love the idea. There's just a few finer points that I'm curious about. Now, I am speculating while we're playing, and that could be a little bit of a dangerous thing. You know what? What if you know, just for the sake of argument in testing out, what happens if I do come down here and attack the back group? Wait a minute. There we go. Shift click. Okay. Now we have enough money. We'll upgrade the knights. We're still at a point disadvantage, but what happens when I tactfully remaneuver? I probably should have done the blue arrow a little more, but I was trying to spread out that back supplying, like the reserve unit of Goblin Axemen. And I don't think it did too much. Did we improve our chances or did we lower them? I don't know. Yeah, I feel like the only way to know if they're onto something, if they're cooking here. We did win, though. We did win that battle despite an 8,000 power difference. Am I going to eat my words? Because I would absolutely love to eat these words. So they went up to 129,000 power. That's crazy. Look at this one little goblin by himself up here. That's hilarious. I think like they just got a lot stronger. We're getting 11 gold per kill now. When we first started, we were doing 1 gold. Just maybe 5 or 6 minutes ago even, we were getting like 7 or 8 gold. And now we're already at 11. Way too many troops. Now, I wonder, could you have like a necromancer unit? Like if you could have hero units, a little bit of like battle physics, a little more control. I guess that moves it away from an incremental game and more just towards a classic strategy game. So that might defeat the purpose. That being said, we won that battle. So, you know what? I was wrong. And I'm happy to be wrong. Okay. I'm having a lot of fun right now. Now that these tactics do change the game, I would like more army size because I want a flanking and distracting unit. Okay, so we're gonna do something like that. They're gonna flail out here and then come back to the back group. But will the goblin force? We probably got the timing wrong because the goblins just punched straight through our lines. That being said, from there they had to redirect and go down south to mop up that crew, which they did pretty handily because they're almost 50% more powerful than my force. But I think that's a decent way of like delaying. In the Total War games, especially the Warhammer Total War games, at least when I was playing, it was all about range. If you had more range units, the spearmen and swordsmen would be charging towards you, and your archers, who just so happen to also have a sword too, would just shoot them to death before they got close. We have 3.1 thousand gold. All right, so we're still wildly underpowered. And I don't think that this is really a good strategy, but I do like the update of the arrows in real time here. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. The balance of power is crazy. It would be kind of cool if I could give my archers, like, you know, kite the enemy forces, run backwards, and then shoot, and run backwards, and then shoot, and run backwards. I don't think you can do that. Yeah, I think we need a more staunch line of spears, or, you know, swordsmen, since they've got little swords and shields here. An army reset point. Interesting. So when we go to authority, we unlock the next level of authority, maybe intermediate management at stage 30. We're 2 levels away from that. We're still really far away from another unit. I think to be at stage like 29, 30, well, 28 here, and not have a 3rd unit is a little bit arduous of a grind. For me personally. We can still harvest gold. And I guess you just leave it on auto battler and come back after writing your TPS reports and playing your Mario Kart a few hours later and, oh, I've got enough gold to do the thing. Now, I know I always go for necromancy strategies in these strategy games, but if we had one, we would be feasting. So I think right now in these early days, here we go. You know what? This is essentially prestiging, I believe. What happens if we reset the army and we do 100 knights? So it's all knights. And we did this. Like our power, look at our power. Just by getting rid of our archers, we became more powerful. So it's sort of counterintuitive to just monoculture your troops. Have a single type of a troop. But I think that's the more efficient strategy right now. So we're going to turn on Auto Battler and just upgrade knights for the next, I guess, well, one, we're going to see what this does. I really want structures, man. I'm curious about the structures. All right. Oh, we can prestige now. Okay. So you'll lose all your basic progress. This is always a major point in incremental games. Prestige gained, we get 6.7 of this. So I could get more money. I could get focused learning, increase experience gained. I could get charisma of leadership, increase army size by 5 per level. All right. Okay. So we're most definitely going to prestige. It's saying we've been going at this 31 minutes till I got to prestige for the first time. Although if I had gone monoculture knights, it probably would have been different. I do wonder if I could have a little information. I've seen this in some other games where it's like it tells you how long it'll take until you get another prestige point. It's time to prestige. Oh, shoot. I thought this was 1 prestige. Increase coins. That's going to be 5. This one's 1. Increase army size per level. I think that's going to get us a lot. And if it unlocks this, increase knight damage by 5% per level, and it's multiplicative. I can speak English. All right, so guess what we're doing? Maxing out the knights, and we're just auto battling, and we're gonna spend all of our gold leveling them up. And we are gonna, like, look at this. We're already at 1.7 thousand power. So we just keep it on auto battler. We level up when we can, just all the knights, all the time. We still need to get to 50 though. But now that we can prestige, so if I were to prestige now, we'd get 0 points, obviously. We are definitely, I mean, it makes sense, right? Yeah, I wonder, now this is probably where I'm far more familiar with tactical and strategic war games than I am incremental games. So now that I know prestige is possible, I do have to recant some of my earlier opinions. Because now that you have this, I'm getting that power creep fantasy that you kind of want in an incremental game. I want to feel supremely powerful. I want to crush my foes and hear the lamentations of the women. Do you have any prestige points? But you look at how long this run has gone, 2 minutes, and we're at stage 12. Massive improvement. So we're about to beat level 30 here, and I've basically just powered through it significantly faster by going all in on knights. And when you do a level up, your power goes up dramatically. Now, as far as how long that's taken, we did it in about 2/3 of the time it took before we prestiged, which makes it makes sense. But we don't have enough prestige points. We could increase the army size per level by 5. Yeah, but what happens after you beat level 100, man? What happens when we get to 50? We won't know for probably 20 more minutes. But at least we're winning, son. And we're getting a lot of gold. What is crazy, though, when you do get those moments where you get to upgrade, like, the amount of troops, and then you do a level up, we go up by, like, 20 to 30,000 power now per upgrade. And so you're massively ahead of the enemy, at least for a few stages. Now, we could end this and prestige 7 points in about 13 minutes. So increased coin gain by 100% would be pretty juicy. I think at like 10 prestige, we'll do it. And it would be nice to be able to fast forward these battles. I think that would be a huge quality of life change. Like to 2 or 4x the battle, although I don't know if it's possible. Because eventually these battles are going to be like filling your entire screen based off of like the key art that they've shown off. 38 gold a kill. That being said, a level up is 9,000. What is this level at the bottom? Is that my prestige level? I think it is. Yeah, level 14, okay. That's my prestige level, how many points I get. I do like that that's there. And we're prestiging, I mean, we're getting pretty nice prestige farming right now. So I'd like to get to level 40 before we prestige. Now this is interesting. The power says that we have more power than them, but we're losing these battles, and I think it's a formation issue. So if we restart this, we want to elongate our front lines and then spread out our reserve, like concentrate them in the center. Let's see. Can we win it now? Because like we should, based off power alone. I think what was happening was by the time our reinforcements got to the front line, they had just critical massive units. Please tell me our strategic maneuver paid off. And show me I'm a smart commander, dang it. Okay, it actually worked. That's awesome. We could have leveled up, but I opted not to. Oh my gosh, 525,000. That's 50,000 more powerful than I am right now. So here's what I'm talking about. We go from 475 to 521 with a single level up. Like, for reference, as we're slowly approaching stage 39, the attack value is 698.9 and our health is 2,662. If we had any type of healing units at all, oh my gosh, we actually won that. All right, I need to beat stage 40, I think, to upgrade my forces, but 588,000? All right, what's our prestige? 26 points. No, I have to beat level 40, and we're about 18 minutes in it. So we got to stage 30 in like 10 minutes, and now we've stalled out pretty much. But this next one we have a chance. You know, if I put a bigger unit on the top, I would get concavity and hold concavity, meaning we would start rounding their forces. I'm gonna make that happen. I think we're still gonna win though. We had just a little bit, but we're gonna beat stage 40 at an 18,000 power differential, not in our favor. I wanna like offset these guys just by a little bit. So there's just like a few pixel difference here. This all might be for naught, but it also might be for something. All right, so we're down by, I mean, this is a crazy amount of power difference. But now it's not for the next one. But look at that, we won the top, which I guess makes sense. We had a sizable force. Prestige is at almost 40. I think we could win this even with a 25,000 power difference. The formations do matter. Power is still power. And you can see here we can add more forces, so we're gonna do that. We almost won it, but now, yeah, now we're wildly more powerful than them. So we'll beat stage 41, and we are gonna prestige, and we're gonna get to stage 50, dang it, and see what unit this is. Now, what's interesting is there's no other unit past this one, and I could reset my army. Resets are given every 25 stages. Very interesting. So we'll win this one. We'll take this currency, which I don't think we'll be able to do anything with, and we're gonna prestige and get 34 points. That is so massive. Now I definitely want, why can I not prestige this? I have the points, but I can't do it. Increase coin gain by 100%, that's 5.00, and we have 35.3. That is a little bit poo-pooey, and I'm sad. Increase knight health, increase knight damage, increase archer attack, lancer. Okay, so the lancer's that third unit. But like, look at how ridiculous we can make our troops. Experience earning. Oh, now, oh, by doing that, now I can get that money. And we maxed out already. And we've got 20 points left. Quantity has a quality all its own, but damage is damage. We'll spread out our points, and now we basically have to go. So I'm curious to see what like a really sizable tech tree would look like. The starting battle is 1.8 thousand power versus 120. That's hilarious. Yeah, we're at 4,000 power on stage 4. So we're going to see how long it takes to get to level 30. That's sort of our reference point, because we've seen it, we've tracked it at least twice. With 3 data points, that'll be pretty solid. We did it in 30 minutes before prestiging, then we did it in 10 minutes before prestiging, and now, I don't know, if we could do it in 5 minutes, I'd say that's like a huge win. Yeah, I really need a max button. That might be the only real quality of life thing that you would need in the game. It would be nice to have a 2 or 4x the battle speed, but I don't know what that would do to performance. And I kind of get the idea. I didn't look this up, but I wonder if this is the dev's first game. If this is your first game, buddy, you're crushing it. You are ahead of the power curve, my friend. Though I'm curious to see what happens when Creative Assembly and Sega see your choice of a name. They might want to eat your lunch, bud. I mean, I hope not. I'm rooting for you. Yeah, but at almost every stage, we're double the power. So we're at stage 18, we're crushing these enemies, and I just need the battles to end faster, so I think that's formation change time. Look at that, our troops kind of like moved out. Oh, wait a minute. Now we haven't not passed a stage on the first try, and whenever I can fill an army unit, I do, and whenever I can spend my gold and upgrade, I do. So after we beat this, we'll turn this off, and we will check in the prestige how long this round has taken. So the battle is over, and we did it in 7 minutes, so we improved a little bit in time-wise. Oh, you know what? Okay, Now, this is probably one of those things that some of you have been screaming at your monitors or your phones. When you level up, that's when you can get more troops. Yeah, that's probably a very obvious thing that I've seemingly missed in my exuberance and excitement for playing this game. Leveling up increases how big your army can be. So, putting prestige points, of which we have 5.1 now, I think, yeah, facts that we can't max it out even more than it is. I love how the battle's happening right now, and we can just kind of like, oh, let's see what's going on here in Prestige World. But right now, based on how it's playing and how prestige points are spent, I think it might make sense to just pick a unit. Focus on that unit, making them as powerful as possible, which maybe is a very obvious thing. It's just like when I play the Total War games, half the fun. I guess there's death stacks where you use single units, but like unit composition and unit variety, you know, complementary units where you got spears in the front line and archers behind them and catapults behind them is like half the fun, right? I'm very curious to see where this game goes, man, because I'm going to be paying attention to it. I feel like Palpatine is like, we will watch your career with great interest, Mr. Skywalker. Yeah, but in most cases, I'm almost like 100, like right now I'm 130,000 power higher than their forces. So we're about to hit level 15 as we pass stage 40. And I want to show like the massive just power increase we're going to encounter. So we're at 711,000 because I just leveled up. We do have to finish this battle. I think by this battle's end, we will have leveled up. So we're not going to auto start the next battle. We're going to see just how much enemy power there is. It might not even be bigger than what I have currently, but it's definitely not going to be bigger than what happens at the end of this when we add to our forces. So we'll move on to the next stage. Okay, so there's 735,000. That's cute. I can add exactly 25 troops, and boom. You lose. And I'm going to work on my concavity. The idea here is if we do this right, we'll have more swords connecting to enemy troops, and battles will go faster. That's the theory. So now we're at 901,000, 165,000-ish, more so than the enemy. It may have had a moderate impact on battle. We've got like more of a moon shape formation, which is the goal. Wait a minute, the enemy had more power than us? That's wild. That hasn't happened at all. So it took us 13 minutes to get to stage 44, and then finally the enemy was stronger than us for the briefest of moments. But they should win this one because I've put 2 upgrades, I think, in since. Can we win this battle? Our brave heroes have finally been defeated. Maybe like a win versus loss count would be an interesting statistic to track. Meanwhile, we have 0 archers. I could put some in now, but I mean, we're not upgrading them, so I think it's wasted. Now, look at this. We're getting 449 gold a kill. Remember when we were getting 11 and that felt like a lot? Yeah, that's the power of incremental improvement. Equal battle power. 1.3 versus 1.3. Who wins the battle of stage 47? It honestly, right now, kind of looks like the power meter says Gabos, but the troops on the field almost look like, no. Yeah, it's Gabos. Dang. So tit for tat, 1.3 to 1.3, we lose? Well, fine, I'll go to 1.4. And when we level up, I think we should just, I mean, I don't know. I want to put in archers so we can be dishing out damage. Because it'd be so cheap to just power upgrade them to like level 30. I think we could do that pretty quickly because we're about to level up. But I guess the mission was to unlock the Lancers. Oh, look at that. We're like smidgens off. Okay. We've got archers. We need to change this, and then like look at how much. I'm just gonna if I wish I could hold the upgrade button. When you got more, look at that. Okay, we got to level 39. That's just insanely quick to get our archers up. But that didn't really change the balance of power meter much at all, which is hilarious. See, look, they're dishing out damage already. Yeah, that's hilarious. Leveling them up, it automatically upgrades the power. I don't know. Can we kill? Oh, if there was any troops in front of these Gabos, I think we would have won this one. We actually still will. We should still win this one, even though our troops are getting eaten alive. Stage 49. Yeah, see, it's like I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have got the archers. But everything inside of me was like, hey, it's cooler if you have archers. Ooh, there's like maybe 3 archers left to their like 2 or 3 goblins. We actually won the battle. We won it. We got to stage 50. but we have to beat stage 50 here. And upgrading, so prestige points. 160 prestige? Are you kidding me? This is nuts. This is absolute nuttiness. So to get that, it took us 17 minutes in this run. After, on our third sort of playthrough, after prestiging twice and playing through 3 times, we've gotten to here. And I want to scrap my archers. I think a little bit of balance or a little bit of tuning so that unit variety has more of a place in the game. And then we've got just an absolute recipe for deliciousness of a gameplay experience. Yeah, I'm like, I wonder what this level does. You leveled up to 12, your army size increased. 13, your army size increased. I wonder what this does. I'm talking to myself here. I need to read the dang directions. We actually won the battle. So we've got to stage 50, and we have the Lancer. So we're going to prestige, and what I'm going to do here is max out Lancers after we upgrade them. So I got to do this, that, and then Lancer damage. Let's just put all of it in there. What are you going to do? Fire me? You can't fire me. I quit. Now our Lancers are more powerful than the Knights. Okay, we need 15 of these bad boys. They have a different unit size. All right, well, let's upgrade their power. So we're at 6.9 thousand power. And the Lancers, oh, the Lancers are just beasts. They just run through these goblins like they are chaff, because they are chaff. I think each Lancer costs 5. I think that's why the number that says 5, it means what it says. So I can purchase 2. Okay, excellent. Yeah, dude, this is fun. All right, so we're just going to run amok. I mean, I guess in theory I should change the formation. And, yeah, they're just crushing it. Yeah, I mean, we could do it to make it go faster, but I am going to change the formation just so, in theory, battles go faster. Yeah, there we go. And once I get 2, I'll just keep them centered. They run through everything. They eat them up alive. But at this point, like, I could keep doing this and upgrade the points, but we've basically done that everything there is in this demo. Now, this demo is not even a demo that's out on Steam. This is a demo that I found on itch.io. So I think it's pretty early days for this game. The game has promise. I think you need to change your name. If I haven't made that opinion very clear. But I'm having fun. Let me know if you guys want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.